Yo, what is going on, everybody? I hope you all are doing amazing. Today, we'll be taking a look at the 2023 NFL Draft's best linebackers, or at least according to me, my favorite linebackers. So we'll run through some film, some highlights. We'll be taking a look at different guys like Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell, Noah Sewell, Daiyan Henley, and demarvion overshown. Obviously, as a Detroit Lions fan, one of the biggest gaps, especially on the defensive side of the ball, would definitely be linebacker. I would say it would probably be the second biggest position in need behind cornerback. So this is definitely a spot I think that needs to be addressed maybe within the first couple of rounds. I would say by round 3, we should have taken at least one linebacker. I'd really only like to draft one linebacker and then maybe get another one in free agency, depending on how much cap space we have and where Brad Holmes decides to use it. It's really up to him. But I think that we do need to draft another linebacker this year and earlier than round 6 like we did with Rodriguez and what Brad Holmes usually likes to do. And I'm not saying that he has to go first round and take a linebacker, even though personally I wouldn't mind it. I would be okay with taking Simpson, maybe even Sewell first round. Probably not. I would say they'll both be maybe early second round picks. But I definitely think that rounds 2 and 3 would definitely be a perfect spot because the guys I'm about to show you today are going to be guys that are probably going to show up in rounds 2 to 3. I think pretty much every single one of these guys, all 6 of them, should be available at least in rounds 2 through 3. So yeah, I've got some different opinions on some of them and what ones I think will fit the best in the Lions and really just who I think is the best one overall. So we're going to go through them. We're going to take a look, like I said, at some film and some highlights. And we'll kind of address, obviously, feel free to leave in the comments who your favorite linebacker is, who you would want to see the Detroit Lions take. And just let me know what I should do for future videos and stuff like that. And obviously, thank you guys for all the support lately. But yeah, so without further ado, let's dive into some film and highlights, starting with Trenton Simpson. So starting with Trenton Simpson out of Clemson University, this is a guy who he's ranked number 1 on basically every website's, top linebackers list. This is a guy that I pretty much dream about the Lions getting. And it's not like he's overly talented, overly, insane. It's not like he's going to be the next Ray Lewis or anything like that. But in order to get a guy like this would be so awesome for the Lions because this guy's a really good coverage guy. He's got 4.3 speed. He's super fast. This clip right here, this is the first clip from him that I saw. This is someone's Wake Forest film. And this shows his ability to also just fill the gaps defensively. So that's what I really liked watching. You can see Hartman's going to kind of step up, and he's right there to make the tackle immediately. It's great defense. Staying in that Wake Forest game, this is going to be demonstrating that coverage ability that I talked about. You can see him kind of right in the middle. He's like the furthest linebacker back. What's going to happen is he's going to drop back on the tight end. He's going to make a nice play on the ball, make sure that tight end can't make the big play. It's a beautifully thrown ball, too. It's just great defense there. So I also already brought up that 4.3 speed this guy has. Right here, you're going to see why that this guy is being looked at as the most versatile player in the country is what I think I've seen a lot of people call him because you could throw him at the edge spot, you could throw him at linebacker. He could even play safety, but just look at this speed right here. You can see him. Quarterback's going to try and escape, and you can see him beat the defensive lineman or the edge and make the play there. I mean, that's just wicked speed right here. I mean, look at him. Look how fast he runs at the quarterback and makes that play. So for this play, this is going to be that ACC championship game against UNC, going up against Drake May. Drake May is a fairly athletic dude. He can escape the pocket and run really well. It's probably why he'll end up being a top 5 draft pick next year. You can see Simpson's going to be up on the edge here, and Drake May's going to try and roll out, and Simpson's going to end up actually getting face masked by May. So it ends up going, I think they accept it. It's like a 15-yard penalty, but you can see that speed to get to the quarterback. It's just unreal. So again, he's going to be lined up on the edge up top. This is again showing that speed that he has. There's a few linebackers that can run as fast as this guy. He's going to get unblocked and just gets a fair shot right to the quarterback. Gets there just in time, forces the turnover. Great play by Simpson there to force the turnover. So now we'll be taking a look at Drew Sanders from Arkansas. If you've never heard of this guy, most people call him the scariest linebacker in college. This guy is not only really fast, but he is so powerful. His strength is probably the best out of every linebacker in this draft. So I'll probably go through the linebackers at the end, by the way, and talk about things that I like about them, things they should work on. There's not really a lot that any of them should work on. They're all good. But so looking at Drew Sanders right here, this first clip's just going to show his ability to fill the gaps on the run side of when the offense is trying to run the ball. He's really good at finding that lane, getting to the running back. So staying in that Alabama game, this is actually the play that Bryce Young goes down with that injury. I don't know if you guys saw that during the season when Bryce Young was hurt. I'm sure if you follow college football, you did. But what happens here, I'm pretty sure Drew Sanders is the one right behind the line of scrimmage. They're just kind of playing linebacker right behind the defensive line. All that happens here is Bryce Young's going to take the snap and shotgun. He's going to kind of drop back, look around. Nothing's going to be there. He'll roll out to his right. Drew Sanders is going to come from the middle of the field and just track down Bryce Young. Bryce Young's really fast, by the way. Great play there by Drew Sanders to track him down. So I talked about this guy's strength. This clip right here is going to show exactly what I was talking about. What's going to happen is you can see him right on the bottom of the defensive line. He's playing edge. He's just going to bull rush that first offensive lineman. And then after that, he's going to run right through. He's going to go up to the running back. He's going to shove him over, and then he's going to make the sack. I mean, talk about strength. This is exactly why he's being looked at as the top 3 linebacker in this year's 2023 NFL draft. You can see right there, just gets through everyone, makes the sack. Great play. It was also a swim move, by the way, not a bull rush. I'm sorry. So this clip's going to show off some of that speed. This guy really isn't the fastest. He's probably going to run, I don't really know what he's going to run. Maybe like a 5-second 40-yard dash, maybe like a 4.8 at best. I really don't know how fast this guy really is. But right here, he's going to show some speed. Right before halftime, last seconds, he's going to run up and make a play. Actually forces a fumble. Really didn't matter because the half ends anyway. But still a great play from Drew Sanders, showing some of that speed that he does have. So looking at our last clip for Drew Sanders today, we're going to look back at that strength side that he has. Just kind of looking at his ability to if you watch this clip, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. His ability to just pick up the running back and toss him like it's nothing. I mean, that guy's not a small running back by any means, but he just picks him up and just manhandles him. And he'll also show it again on the replay. I mean, this guy is strong, and that's exactly why, I see this guy being a starter in the NFL. He'll probably work his way up to a starting role eventually. He might not start right away, but man, that is some real man strength right there. So now we'll be taking a look at Jack Campbell out of Iowa University. If any of you guys are fans of the Big Ten, I'm sure you guys have heard of this guy, Captain Jack. He's apparently ranked as the #1 coverage linebacker in the entire draft, which is kind of hard for me to believe with guys like Trenton Simpson out there, but apparently he is. This guy's, he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's a lot like Drew Sanders, but he's really powerful. He's really disciplined as well. He knows what to do. He knows what he's doing. He knows what his job is. So this would definitely be a nice guy. As you can see right there, back in coverage, makes a nice tackle. Here in this clip, he's going to do exactly what he's supposed to do. He's going to fill the hole on the right side. I guess the left side of the offensive line, depending on what way you're looking at it. So this is against South Dakota State early in the season. They're just going to do a little run play, trying to, they're on like the 1-yard line, so they're just trying to get a little bit of room. Jack Campbell's going to see where the run's going. He's just going to fill one of the gaps, doing exactly what every single NFL linebacker is supposed to do. So, again, showing that ability to just know what he's doing on the field at all times and ends up making the safety. So, that's a great play by Jack Campbell. So, this is actually against Ohio State, and I remember watching this game, and I remember watching this exact play. This was a fun game to watch up until, the second half Ohio State ran away with it. But other than that, Iowa played fairly good defense in the first half. But Jack Campbell, he actually had one of his better games, I'd say, in this game. Right here, C.J. Stroud's going to drop back, and he's just not going to see Jack Campbell, and I think Campbell just kind of reads it. You can see him dropping back in coverage there. Ends up making a sick catch, diving for the ball. I think that was a one-hander too. What a catch. So this is against Kent State. What happens here, it's nothing much. It's really just Jack Campbell kind of doing his job. And so Kent State's going to throw a little running back screen pass. Jack Campbell's going to he's going to rush the quarterback, but he notices it's a screen pass. So he turns around, finds the running back, and ends up making the big play, as you can see right here. Showing a little bit of speed as well and just knowing what he's got to do out in the field. So for this last clip for Jack Campbell, this is going to display that strength, kind of like what I was talking about with Drew Sanders and how he's just so powerful, knows how to tackle. This is exactly kind of like what that is with Drew Sanders, but right here, it's basically like a goal line stand, but it's kind of not, because Campbell ends up actually forcing the fumble here in the end zone too. So that's going to save basically 7 points for Iowa. So now we'll be taking a look at Noah Sewell out of Oregon University. As most of you probably already know, he is brothers with Penei Sewell, the Lions offensive lineman. So that obviously it provides a little connection there. Not only that, I think personally I would love to get this guy. Probably, I'd be fine with getting him second round. From what I've seen, he's a really good pass rusher from the linebacker spot even. He doesn't really play edge much. He's more just a linebacker. His coverage skills seem okay. I haven't really seen much of it, so maybe that's something that he can build on. But as you can see right here, showing off a little bit of speed and power, gets to the quarterback and makes him fall over. Great play. So all NFL linebackers have to be able to fill the gap when they need to. They got to be able to know their role, kind of things that we've already gone into. Right here, he's going to display that he knows what he's doing. Out in the linebacker spot, this is going to be a run play against Utah. Big game, obviously. He's going to fill the gap right away, and he's going to end up making basically like a 4 or 5 yard loss. So this is probably my favorite Noah Sewell clip. This is against UCLA, another big game, top 10 team in the country at the time. Top 10 matchup, actually, wow. So this is a 4th and 6, kind of towards the end of the game. This is a big play. You're going to need, the stars are going to show up in the biggest parts of the biggest games. So right here, Noah Sewell. Against my guy, Daiyan Thompson Robinson, by the way. I really like DTR. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in this draft, at least for like the later rounds. So right here, he doesn't really rush the quarterback. He's like a quarterback spy almost. Look at that ability to just chase him down and then end up getting the interception in the end zone. Beautiful play at that part of the game when you need a big stop. Like I said, the stars are going to shine in the biggest moments. So right here, big stop. And great ability to stay with DTR and not get any roughing the passers or anything like that. So I've already kind of talked about how I'm not really sure how good he is at pass coverage. It's hard to find a lot of film on him dropping back in pass coverage. Right here is one of them that I found. You can see him circled right there up towards the top of the screen. What's going to happen here is he's just going to kind of drop back in like a zone, I'm guessing. And he ends up, I think the quarterback ends up throwing it to the running back. Or no, not the running back maybe. Just a guy kind of crossing through the middle of the field. He ends up making the read, makes the tackle, and it's a great play by Sewell showing that he can drop back in pass coverage.
So for Noah Sewell, I think one of his issues might be his size. Like, he is really big for a linebacker. He's got really big legs. That can affect him, especially his speed. So I think that's one thing that might worry me. But right here, he demonstrates that he is pretty fast. He might not be the fastest guy in the draft at the linebacker spot, but this is going to show that he's got a little bit of speed in him. You can see him towards the top. He's going to run after Stroud, ends up making the tackle. No gain on the play, demonstrating that he does have a little speed in him. So now we move on to Daiyan Henley out of Washington State. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Daiyan Henley, I don't know. I'll say Daiyan Henley. So for this guy, he reminds me a lot of Trenton Simpson. This guy's really fast. I'm actually really impressed with this guy. He's really like under the radar. Like, I don't really hear of this guy often. I don't really see him in a lot of mock drafts. This is kind of a guy that I think will, especially when the combine rolls along, this is going to be a guy that you're going to see trending towards maybe the 3rd, 2nd round. We'll see. I really do like this guy. I like his speed. I like his athleticism. First play here is going to show that off right away. Just runs straight to the quarterback. So when you watch the replay, you can see how fast this guy really is. I mean, just watch how fast he gets the quarterback. No time to react, and that's exactly what you want. So this clip right here is probably what made me fall in love with Daiyan Henley. He's dropped back, or he's playing the linebacker position here. This is at the very end of the game against Idaho, so I don't know why this was a close game, but Washington State wasn't great this year or anything. But either way, what's going to happen here is they're trying to tie the game, obviously, so they're going to throw towards the end zone. Daiyan Henley's going to drop back. He's going to end up making the interception. So as you can see, I mean, he's not guarding like a tight end or anything either. I mean, that looks like a running back or wide receiver that he's on. What a play by Daiyan Henley. Like I've said before, all great NFL linebackers have to know their role on the field. They got to be able to fill the gap. Right here, he's going to shed a block, and then he's just going to run straight to the running back. This is against Oregon, actually, so this is a big game for them. It's at home. It's towards the beginning of the game, obviously, but Daiyan Henley's just going to kind of read. He's going to see it's a run play, and he's just going to fill the gap, run straight for the running back, ends up forcing about a 1.5 yard loss, maybe. So right here, this is against Colorado State. Daiyan Henley's gonna be playing. I think he comes from the linebacker spot because this play is already like getting started. But he's gonna kind of run through the interior of the line. He's gonna end up shedding a block and end up running straight for the quarterback. Ends up almost getting the sack, but gets a strip fumble, and that's even better actually. I guess it's towards the end of the half, but great play there, and it's gonna be Washington State football. Saves probably. It looks like they're in field goal range maybe, so saves them 3 points. Great play. So right here, again, he's going to show that speed that I've been talking about. I really like linebackers that have a lot of speed because that means they can cover well as well. But right here, he's just going to see a gap in the offensive line, and he's just going to shoot through it. Ends up making a no gain, I think. The running back's going to get it, and yeah, he ends up making a nice tackle, finds the gap, great play.
So now we'll move on to the final linebacker that we'll be taking a look at in today's video. So now we'll be taking a look at demarvion Overshown. If you haven't heard of this guy, which he's another kind of under-the-radar guy, you probably never heard of him. He's expected to be around a 3rd to 4th round pick. I think that's probably right. I think he'll go 3rd round, probably mid-3rd round or so. So this is definitely a guy that I could see the Lions going after. Another really fast and athletic guy. You can see him right in the middle there, back at that linebacker spot. He's already in that running stance. Like, he's already getting ready to just book it through that line and just straight shot for the quarterback. And if you're the quarterback, there's absolutely nothing you can do right there. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
So this next clip is going to demonstrate this guy's ability to be able to drop back in coverage, which, I've gone over this a couple times. I really want a linebacker that can drop back in pass coverage, because playing teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Ravens that have those top-tier the top-tier tight ends, you want a guy that's going to be able to drop back in coverage and do things like that. Nice little interception. He almost takes it to the house as well, gets down inside the 10-yard line. Great play from demarvion Overshown.
So this play is against Colorado. So this is actually a really bad pass, but again, dropping back in coverage, something I really want a linebacker to be able to do. You look at the Lions, they have guys like Malcolm Rodriguez and Alex Anzalone who really aren't coverage guys. They're more of just, they're really good, solid overall linebackers. But right there, getting another interception, poor pass, but still makes the play.
So I guess when I went through this guy's film, I didn't know that he had this many interceptions, because I'm assuming that these are for sure 2022 and 2021 highlights. So it's not all just 1 year. But still, another interception right here, dropping back in pass coverage, reads the quarterback, makes the play. So again, this is what I want a linebacker on the Lions to be able to do. So great play again by demarvion Overshown.
So for our last clip of this video and our last play of the day, demarvion Overshown, he's going to demonstrate to you guys that he can rush the quarterback as well. Obviously, being as fast as he is, I think the first clip was also him rushing the quarterback. But right here, as fast as he is, he's going to be able to get to the quarterback when he wants to. You can see him just kind of leap through, gets past a block, and ends up tripping up the quarterback and making the play. Another one by demarvion Overshown. So that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments maybe what linebacker that you weren't really familiar with, but now you're kind of starting to like more. Or let me know just what your favorite linebacker is in this year's draft, and who the Lions should take, where they should take them, things like that. Or if I left out any linebackers, because I know Henry To'oTo'o was one that I kind of left out, and as well as, I can't remember his name. Ivan Pace Jr. from Cincinnati was the other one that I was trying to think of. So if who knows, maybe I'll do another video soon and I'll include those guys, but more than likely, these are the 6 guys that I know for sure I would want the Detroit Lions to get, and the ones that I've been the most impressed with, the ones that I think will fit the best. So that's why I selected these 6. If there's anything that any of them need to work on, like for Trent Simpson, it would probably just be like his overall IQ of the game. demarvion Overshown would probably be his work ethic, things like that. There's certain things that they could all kind of work on, but they're also like easily fixable things that it's really nothing to go into. Guys like Drew Sanders and Jack Campbell, you could look at their speed maybe. Noah Sewell, maybe he's too big. I don't know. You could look at a ton of different things, but there's really not much to not like about any of these guys. So yeah, that's why I just selected them. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. My next video probably coming out, next week or so. I'll probably do another Detroit Lions mock draft 2.0. Maybe I'll make some Michigan State basketball videos sometime soon with March Madness coming up. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.